Lori Vallow Daybell, previously convicted for the murders of her two children and her husband's former wife, now facing additional charges in Arizona, accused of conspiring to kill her fourth husband, Charles Vallow, and attempting to murder her niece's ex-husband, Brandon Boudreaux. You know, like you do in a happy family. In a recent court appearance, Vallow Daybell chose to represent herself, raising concerns about her understanding of the legal process and the seriousness of the charges and really her ability to truly be her own attorney. Joining me to discuss, defense attorney Bob Motta. You do this for a living, and you saw Lori attempting to pretend to be a defense attorney for that hour of nails on a chalkboard in court. What was your reaction?
That was exactly what I expected. it was like, to me, this whole trial is going to be appointment television or appointment streaming, just because, like, watching her in particular, where you've just always gotten the sense from her that she's the smartest person in the room. Nobody knows better than Lori. I'm going to handle this defense myself. I clearly can understand the law and the rules of criminal procedure and the rules of evidence. And it's going to be an absolute shit show. But the judge has taken a lot of caution in terms of admonishing her,
Yeah.
About the seriousness of these charges, the difficulty of preparing a case like this, and that she is held to the same standard that an attorney would be in terms of the introduction of evidence. And there's very little that judges will give pro se defendants when they decide to move forward. And look, the bottom line is she's been warned. So because it's like, the concern, I think, from kind of lay people from the outside looking into the process are like, oh, well, she's just trying to set it up though so she can win on appeal because she was incompetent. Well, that's not going to be a thing.
Yeah.
Like, she had every opportunity to have counsel. He admonished her properly on all the aspects of it. And, he asked her the questions. Do you think that you can prepare these motions? Do you think that you can learn the rules of evidence? All the different things that you need to do in order to try a case like this. The expectation is that you're going to be able to do it. And if you cannot, that is on you.
Very much so. The thing is, she's not going to. I mean, there's no hope. She's arguing about her moving from where she was in Idaho down to Arizona, the transfer of her, and the judge the whole time's like, what does this have to do with anything?
Right.
And she doesn't seem to really know why it has anything to do with anything, but she thinks it does, even though it really doesn't have anything to do with anything. But that's what she got stuck on the other day in court. I mean, how is anyone expecting this to go, to even move along in court with someone who just truly is not operating, number one, in the same reality as the rest of us, but has zero understanding of the law and is completely delusional about what she's being charged with, or what her culpability is with some of this stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those cases where you're going to just see the frustration from her perspective continue to build as she's denied and objected to in terms of trying to get evidence in. Because the way she's looking at Tony is she just wants to tell her story. And that's not what a trial is. It's like, I know that people, that's why you see these occasions where defendants get on the stand and they tell their story, and we know how that works out for people. And now she's going to be not only telling her story, but she's going to try the case wherein she's telling her story. And she's going to be very, very frustrated, because she's going to find out in very short order that things that are a part of her story are not relevant to what is at hand in that courtroom, which is conspiracy to commit murder. They're going to stick to the elements of that crime. They're going to stick to only things that are relevant to prove, or in her case, she is going to need to, even there is no absolutely no burden on the defendant. She's going to need to disprove the fact that she had anything to do with it, and she's going to be trying to do that.
Hmm.
I mean, like make no doubt about it. I mean, she's going to be arguing. There's no way that I did this. Like I had no control over Alex. Alex did what he did, and like I don't even know how you're blaming me for this. You know, like yeah, I was over there that morning, but we weren't there when the shooting took place. You know, and it's like, and then she's going to have to deal with all the circumstantial evidence that tell us a different story about that morning. You know, so and her relationship with Charles, and we're going to get more into the darkness scale and all that shit that starts like just all the craziness that is Vallow. I can't wait for it. Like honestly, I cannot. Like I'm actually thrilled that she's going at this pro se because it's going to be just an absolute shit show. Like I've been watching Colby
Hmm.
Ryan, her son's YouTubes, and I actually have been trying to get him on because I want to talk to him because I
Yeah.
covered Vallow pretty heavily. And you know, just kind of watching him watch that is like gut wrenching,
Yeah.
you know, and it's like that's the part that you don't think about. But I mean, what I would tell Colby is like, look, man, you know, take some solace in the fact that she's going down hard
Yeah.
on this, and it's going to be primarily as a result of her incompetence as a lawyer. Like she just doesn't understand the law. Like people don't know what we do.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's why we irritate people. People are like, oh, they make a lot of money, and I don't even know what the hell they do. We don't make anything tangible. There's nothing that we, like I mean,
Yeah.
yes, we write documents where you can see, okay, well, that they wrote that thing, but a lot of our job is thinking.
Hmm.
And like it's not like we're in a factory making something. We're not getting up and making the donuts. We're not performing surgeries where you have some kind of like discernible proof that you've worked.
Sure.
like lawyers, just like we're one of the few professions on the planet that there is, short of like filing motions and
Hmm.
obviously appearing prepared in trial. Like that, trial lawyers, you know that they've worked because you
Hmm.
cannot walk into a trial court and just wing it. Like you will look every bit the fool that you are if you haven't prepared for that trial. And that's exactly what we're going to see. We are going to see, for all those who've been waiting to watch her just get pantsed publicly, this is your chance because that's exactly what's going to happen. And the judge, like from what I've seen, and I've only seen her in front of him a couple of times, he seems pretty patient.
Hmm.
But you've seen in other cases where you have pro se defendants, it gets frustrating for the judges, because they're trying to explain to the pro se defendant, look, you can't do that.
Hmm.
That's like the rule. There are rules of evidence that you
Yeah.
must follow. It doesn't matter that you didn't go to law school, ma'am. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
that you didn't pass the bar, ma'am.
Yeah.
You said that you would be ready to do this, and you're not capable of doing it. And at that point, I mean, she's got the backup,
Hmm.
right? So she's got the lawyer. She was smart enough to do that. So she's got the lawyer that's sitting behind her that was originally handling the case, who's going to be sitting there, and like kind of guiding her through if she has issues, but like from that lawyer's perspective, like she wants to help this woman as much as she wants a hole in the head,
Yeah.
like it's like, oh yeah, you're that one who, yeah, you could do the job better than I can, who's a
Hmm.
licensed attorney and has been doing it for a long time. It's like, yeah, like it just creates like just a shitty situation for Lori. And you know what? Good.
Yeah.
I'm here for all of it, man. It's like I want to see her go down in flames so hard, and I want to see her doing it on her own watch.
Hmm.
I want her to make her own bed. I want her to say a bunch of stupid shit, and I want to watch her get found guilty on all the charges,
Hmm.
and it's going to be all her fault.
And at the end of the day, she's going to look just as befuddled as she did going in. Why? How could anyone see it this way? Because she's not fit to stand trial. She's nuts. She's
I know.
mentally ill. I mean, this is like, I feel like we're almost like just poking the animal in the cage at this point. Like, we know it's sick. We know it's not right in the head. It's clearly not okay. Well, let's keep bringing it out for shows. Like,
Right.
no, like it's not going to work. It's not going to come out well. But it's crazy to watch. Yeah,
I mean,
you're
T,
right. It
they've
is.
they've challenged her competency a couple of times,
Yeah.
man.
I mean, they could
Because
still
like
again.
Right. You know, the problem with her is that she believes this shit that she's saying and that
Yeah.
she thinks thinks it's actually true.
Which makes
Like they're
her
like
insane.
I mean, or does it? Maybe she's right, T. Maybe we're all the insane ones, and she tried to tell us, and we just wouldn't listen. Because, like, when you listen to her speak, like, competency is a very different
Yeah.
evaluation. It's, do you understand the process? Do you understand legal terms? You know, can you assist, in this case, yourself in helping defend yourself? Because typically it's, can you help assist in your own defense with your attorneys?
Hmm.
She seems to have a grasp on all that stuff. So, like, competency isn't the issue. It's the other thing that you're talking about. She's certifiable. She's
Yeah.
fucking batshit crazy, man. She
Yeah.
is like something is broken in her mind. And that, unfortunately, if she decides not to take a mental defect defense approach to this case, which she should, but she never will,
Hmm.
because, you know, I mean, that was the whole thing with her Idaho cases. I'm
Yeah.
like, they can't use the insanity defense, but they can attack the mens rea, but she wouldn't allow her lawyers to do it.
Hmm.
She just wouldn't allow it. So, yeah, I'm here for it, man. I mean, to be honest with you, like that, I loved your analogy about just kind of like wheeling the damaged animal out and just you continue to poke it just to, like, you know what? She deserves it. She honestly
Yeah.
does. Like, she's a fucking piece of shit. You know, the things that she did to those beautiful little
Hmm.
kids, like, is the person that you expect to be the most protective of those
Yeah.
children is such a betrayal. She's the worst.
Mhm.
She's like Ruby Frankie on like crack.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know, she's like horrible.
hey, thanks for checking out the video. Be sure to follow us wherever you download podcasts, and especially Apple Podcasts, where you can get advanced episode and premium content on our premium channel right there. Also, be sure to follow us on social media so you don't miss any breaking updates on the stories that matter to you most. We're on TikTok, X, Instagram, Facebook. Just search Hidden Killers Podcast with Tony Brueski, and you'll find us right there. Again, thanks for watching.